Hey guys, what's up? It's Jzump or Jessica, whichever you prefer, and we're here to go over all of the news that we have gotten in August. I've been a little too busy to keep up with it as it comes, so we're just gonna do one whole big video of everything that we have seen from the presents to yesterday, which was Tuesday, August 22nd. This will be coming out probably on Friday, August 25th, so hopefully nothing new comes out by then. But we're going to go over all the news, specifically on Scarlet and Violet, specifically on the DLC. There are some other things that aren't specific to the DLC, very little, but most of this is DLC news. So we're gonna watch the trailer that was brought to us at the Presents and kind of break it down, because there are definitely a lot of things in this trailer and a lot of things that I don't even think were touched on in this trailer, if I remember correctly. So we're gonna start with that. So we're gonna dive right into this trailer, and we're just gonna stop when we actually get to our news segments. You know, we gotta watch this together. We get Ogerpon right off the jump. I am so excited to explore a new area. Phantump, I can't wait to get a shiny Phantump. Everyone was excited about Cramorants. Clefairy. We'll talk about Clefairy after this. The teal mask. Like, this area just looks so cool. Here's our first one! Our first one is that Pokemon. Let's back it up a little bit. Here he is! Now, at first, this just looks like, you know, a little version of Applin. Like, we got a regional variant of Applin. Well, guess what? You're wrong! This Pokemon is actually a Applin. I'm gonna mess that up. I'm so sorry. An Applin evolution. So yes, Applin now has 3 evolutions. Flapple, Appleton, and Diplin. He is the Caramel Apple Pokemon, Grass Dragon, with the ability Super Sweet Syrup and Gluttony. So here is another picture of Diplin. And what's actually interesting is they say that this is 2 creatures in one. So the little head that we see here is one creature, and then the tail is a second creature. Why they're sharing the apple, I have no idea. Diplin does get a new signature move called Syrup Bomb, a special attack which causes an explosion of syrup, as well as a new ability to the Pokemon world called Super Sweet Syrup. The scent of its syrup spreads across the battlefield, lowering the evasiveness of opposing Pokemon. Wow, that sentence was a tongue twister for me. Now that we learned a little bit about our first new Pokemon, let's continue watching this trailer. We got some characters. I'm not gonna go too much into the characters. There's plenty of news without going into these new characters. But it seems like we're gonna be friends with them, and I believe they'll also appear in part 2 as well. Festival, love that. We get these guys once again. He's using Diplin here. It's really loud in my ears. We see Swinub is in the game. Here's Ogerpon once again. And it looks like when you terrestrialize, his mask is huge. I actually don't remember even seeing that. And then we're going into part 2 right away. Which is going to be at Blueberry Academy in part 2, the Indigo Disc. We're getting many new characters again. We also get to change this room. So let's pause right there. So this is basically a club room at the Blueberry Academy, or specifically the Blueberry League. It's a lot like what I would say the main school is in Scarlet and Violet, where you get to talk to some of these NPCs, maybe deepen your bonds a little bit. I'm still not completely sure what that all did for us. I know, like, my bonds were super strong with Miriam, but that's all I know. But you do get to customize to your liking this room. It does look like you have to stick to a specific theme, instead of kind of mixing and matching. So it's a little stagnant in that way, but still like a nice personalizing touch. So I guess I should have stopped a little earlier. There's just like a very quick blurb about when we see Ogerpon terrestrialize, and the fact that it is different than how we see almost every other Pokemon terrestrialize. And I'm sure we will find out more in the actual DLC. I don't think we will get any more info on that before the DLC comes out, but I could be wrong. Let's continue on to our next part, which is this big dome, and we see more and more Pokemon. Oh, I just noticed a Lowland Sandshrew. Such a cutie. Maybe there's hope for a Lowland Vulpix. We see some fossil Pokemon coming back, and there is a second Elite Four here. And these are actually the Elite Four members. They are actually students that go to this academy, and we see our second new Pokemon for the trailer. This Pokemon is Archaludon. He is an evolution of Duraludon. Did anyone see that coming? I don't know, because Duraludon definitely got a G-Max in Sword and Shield. He is the Alloy Pokemon, and he will be Steel Dragon with the ability Stamina and Sturdy. So, from what I'm getting from this, it does look like maybe when Archaludon gets to a certain health, that's when he extends into this bridge-like form. He's losing some of his mobility to kind of bring his defense up and have some more stability here. He does also get a new move called Electro Shot, where he is gathering vast quantities of energy and fires off high voltage bolts of electricity. Under rainy conditions, Archaludon can immediately fire off this attack without having to spend time charging up. So kind of like Thunderstorm. I'm thinking he has to absorb it when it's not rainy, which is very interesting. In case you happen to miss it, here are our Elite Four for Blueberry Academy. They are also students. They are not teachers. They are not older than us. They are all students. And I did one of my mutuals, Ollie from TikTok. He made mention that this guy right here could be related to a certain elite champion that we've had in Black and White, possibly alluding to the remakes. But it would be kind of weird to have a relative in the same sort of timeline. The only time I can really think of that happening is Leon Hop and Iris are all related. But off the top of my head, that's the only other relation I can think of that is in the same timeline. But enough about the Elite Four, let's watch more of the trailer. We've still got a lot to talk about. Here's us going to challenge them. We get a new outfit. We get lots of the characters coming through. And here, they just show these guys. No explanation. Absolutely no explanation. In the quickest little flash, they show us 2 new Paradox Pokemon that will be in the DLC. The first one being Raging Bolt, which is definitely a Raikou Paradox. I love this thing. You cannot tell me anything about this thing that will change my mind. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's his cloud mustache thing going on, or the fact that he's literally a giraffe. Brontosaurus, whatever you want to call him. I'm going with giraffe because I love giraffes. He is Electric Dragon. Can we just look at the weight? 1,052, 58.2. Sorry, that's my dyslexia switching it around. This boy is beefy, 17 feet tall. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Raging Bolt also gets a new move called a Thunderclap. This electric-type special move allows the user to move first if the opposing Pokemon has chosen an attack as its next move. The user unleashes an electric blast to deal damage, but this move will fail if the target was not readying an attack of its own. Very risky move. These are very definitely competitive moves that they're introducing, and will be very interesting to see how they're used in the meta. Our second Paradox Pokemon that is shown is Iron Crown. Now, this is Cobalion. I'm sorry if I said that name wrong. I'm pretty sure I got it right, though. This is the Cobalion Paradox Pokemon. So obviously the Swords of Justice are going to be our future Paradox, and all of the Legendary Beast trio is going to be our past Paradox. There was a chance they could switch them up, you know, but they decided to keep them all the same timeline. So this is a Steel Psychic Pokemon, and it has the ability Quirk Drive. He, of course, is also getting a new move because we cannot leave him out, and I am so sorry for however I'm about to say this. Tachyon Cutter? That was probably so wrong. This Steel-type special move never misses, allowing the user to unleash 2 successive hits. I've never heard the word successive before. On a target. The Pokemon attacks by firing off blasts of energy from its horns. Okay, there's just a little bit left of this trailer. I'm not sure how much big news was announced anymore in this. But after this, there are some smaller things that really aren't talked about in the trailer. Chandelure is back. And you do get a date, so don't worry about that. So there you go, with part number 1 being released September 13th. That's not far away. That is less than a month away, and I am so excited about it. I can't wait to shiny hunt for all these Pokemon. Maybe I'll try to get the playthrough done before the DLC comes out. We're gonna try. I always gotta try. There's a lot of playthroughs that we need to finish on this channel, and this is still one of them. I've had a lot going on this year, okay guys? They still don't have a release date for Indigo Disc. It is still planned for winter of 2023, so no delay as of yet, so that's good. And this is another thing, it's not in the trailer. You still have time to get your Mew. That's not the code. I don't know what the code is, hold on. Okay, in case you have not gotten your Mew yet, use code GETYOURMEW in the mystery gift section on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. You will get a Mew with a random tear type. It will be level 5, so you have plenty of room to train it, get its IVs ready, get its EVs ready for Mewtwo, because they do say if you use this Mew against Mewtwo in these raids, there will be a special surprise. We don't know what the special surprise is. Deep in my heart, I hope it's a shiny Mewtwo, but I also know that is a long shot. So, don't quote me, but that's what I would want in my heart of hearts. Some things that were shown in the presents, but not specifically in that trailer. First up, we basically have a Pokemon Snap. Not actually, but we do get this kind of mini game where you can take snapshots of Pokemon in the area as you seek out mysterious Pokemon together with Perrin. Who's Perrin? Let me show you. This is Perrin. And if you've played Legends, Perrin is very, very familiar. Yes, this is Adaman's ancestor. I love her. I love Adaman. They're both perfect. I love them. This is a really cool thing that was also talked about in the presents is these mini games that you can play on your Miraidon or Koraidon, and you get Mochi. Mochi acts a lot like the feathers you can find everywhere, but there is a really great Mochi if you have Pokemon either from past games or your current Scarlet and Violet. I almost said Sword and Shield. That's not the game. It is called the Fresh Start Mochi. So basically, it will reset your IVs, which is like mind-blowing. Like, that is amazing, especially if you have like a very special Pokemon that's dear to your heart, but you know like the IVs ain't it. You can still use that. You can reset its IVs and train it up exactly how you want. And I just think that is like such an awesome thing to add. Now, this is the quality of life additions I was looking for. You get a roto stick, so you get to kind of frame your pictures differently, but you can also now direct your Pokemon. You can have them sit and stay in spot, kind of like in Legends, and you can take much better pictures of them. This is what I'm living for. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I love taking pictures of my shinies and sharing them with you guys. And it sometimes takes so long to get a good photo. So just the fact that I get to tell them where to sit is like 70% of the battle sometimes. So I'm really hyped for this. This is such a small thing, but it's like, it's those small quality of life things that really like bring the game up a level. I'm really hoping with these kind of quality of life, we also get a lot of patches to the glitches, because let's be honest, there's still a lot of problems with the game, but that does not mean you can't still enjoy them. This is another one of those things where the trailer like briefly skirted by, and that is Terapagos. So we all remember seeing this little guy not too long ago. It's been in the anime, but we weren't sure what it is. Well, this is Terapagos. This is Terapagos' normal form, and the big fluffy turtle that we all fell in love with is its terastallized form. I was not expecting that, but you know, it makes sense. Okay, this is something that wasn't mentioned in the trailer whatsoever. I think like having the Clefairy so prominent in the trailer was like kind of their hint to this, but they are bringing back mass outbreaks. Now, these are specifically going to be events. Obviously, we get mass outbreaks regularly, but these are like gonna change. So the first one we have is Clefairy. So these outbreaks are specifically going to be for Pokemon that aren't already in Scarlet and Violet that you can't just catch in the wild. So you're not going to want to miss these events. The first one is next month, September 28th to October 1st. That's not a lot of time, guys. That's 4 days. And it is going to be Clefairy. So, guys, you can shiny hunt this Clefairy. It's not going to be shiny locked. As far as I can tell, that'd be really crappy. But they're going to appear in these mass outbreaks during this time and this time only. And I love that. I love that so much. This is actually what I'm most hyped for. I believe you do have to have the DLC, maybe? Maybe not, because it looks like you can find Clefairy regularly in Kitakami, but you can't in the Paldean region. So maybe you don't have to have the DLC for this. Nope, never mind. You do have to have the DLC. So you do have to have the DLC to participate in these. This will also be a special marked Pokemon. Yeah, this Clefairy is going to have the upbeat mark. That's all for the trailer, guys, but this next segment was announced during Worlds. I am so happy but you can catch every single one of these starter Pokemon. They are actually calling them your first partner Pokemon. And yes, I mean every single one, all the way from Gen 1 to Gen 9. Is Gen 9 wild? No. But the rest of them are! Which means you can shiny hunt them. I think. Don't know how they're implementing this. From what it looked like in the trailer that they brought into Worlds, which they don't have on their YouTube for some reason, is they will be in part 2 in that indigo disc. They're going to be in that dome where all the like different areas are. That's what I could tell. It had, you know, kind of that stripy pattern that the dome has. But this is big news. I don't know when's the last time this has actually happened that we had all the starters. It's been a hot minute because they definitely weren't all in Sword and Shield, that's for sure. Okay, and here is our last video for this video. This was announced this week on Tuesday, the 22nd. So let's dive right in. First, they made it smaller, had it perfectly lined up.
Welcome, children. Tonight, we gather as the shadows fall
when they do
to bring
this for
you an exciting,
and make it so immersive.
Show. This is a mysterious and haunting tale about a Pokemon.
They also gave influencers
Once upon a time, there was a tea master
be.
who dedicated his life to perfecting the art of the tea ceremony, and his pursuit of perfection bordered on obsession. Do not lift the tea bowl so high. Do not step over the utensils. Do not speak while handling the utensils. What are you doing? Strictness soured his reputation. Eventually, not a soul would suffer his company. And without guests to entertain, his pursuits were meaningless. Regret is a bitter sip. As the tea master said
this really reminds me of
he
Legends.
fainted from exhaustion.
So I would love
his short temper proved to be his undoing.
See this in the Legends
a truth
game.
he never realized. The master's tea caddy passed from owner to owner, until finally, after many years of neglect, the tea caddy started moving on its own and suddenly transformed. The caddy then flew out of its storehouse. After some looking around, it noticed an ill-mannered woman and approached her. As the caddy sprinkled her with matcha for some reason, she sensed its presence and waved it away, breaking a teacup in the process. Let me tell you, that really teed it off.
Okay, you get the gist from the trailer. I accidentally went live, but I also have ADHD and could not finish watching that trailer. But this is Poltergeist. He is our new Pokemon. He is not a regional Pokemon. He is a totally different Pokemon from Sinistea and Poltergeist. And he is our Matcha Pokemon, who is grass and ghost type with the ability Hospitality. Such a cutie. He loves to live in abandoned houses, and he also loves to patch things up. Although he may have a short temper when it comes to tea, that's pretty cute. And with his new ability Hospitality, this is also a new ability to Pokemon in general. When a Pokemon with this ability enters a battle, it showers its ally with Hospitality, restoring a small amount of its ally's HP. So this is not really a Pokemon you want to have starting your battle. This is a Pokemon that you want to be able to pull in to heal up your partner Pokemon. Okay guys, that is everything we have for August. I may have missed a few small details, but those are really the big and new announcements. We got all the new Pokemon, we got some of the cool new features we are gonna get, and I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to comment down below what your favorite new Pokemon is. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It really supports everything I do on this channel and is totally free. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!